What's up, you people? David here, and today I just felt like chilling with you people, because lately I've been feeling quite lonely again. And a lot of times when I'm lonely, I just start to get deep in my head and reminisce about life and the things I miss, like when I used to play with my siblings outside and when I used to play with my friends, when I had friends. As I'm lonely, it does have its ups and downs. I would say it's not as bad today as it was let's say about a few days or a week ago, mostly because when I start to think of the positives, because I'm alone, I don't have any ties with anybody. Not saying that I don't want any ties, but I'll rather have no ties than toxic ties with people, I would rather have no relationship than a toxic relationship, because most of the time, the thing I struggle with is once I get into a toxic relationship, and that may be a friendship, that could be something romantic, but either way, once I get into those things, it's kind of hard for me to leave because then I feel trapped. Because whenever I leave somebody, I don't know whether it's my abandonment anxiety or just that feeling of neglect that just drains me, but it's almost hard for me to separate myself from people and to just be direct and say, hey, I don't think we should talk anymore, because then they kind of make me feel bad. Usually I tell them because I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling low, and I don't feel like I have the energy to pretty much carry us both. Because a lot of the times, at least in my previous relationship, I felt like I was carrying it. Sometimes I felt like I was the only one invested. I'm the only one initiating calls. I'm the only one who's really focused on the connection, whether that's a friendship or a romantic relationship. I'm really focused on the friendship, and I want it to evolve into something. I want to, like I said, when it comes to friendships, if I only plan on being your friend, I want to be close, almost like twins or siblings or something like that. I want to reach that level of friendship and closure with somebody. I'm always seeking to evolve something where I have deep personal and meaningful connections. And some people don't really look for that in a friend. Most people like their friends to be just casual friends, just people to just talk to and chit chat with, but some people just don't really want that deep connection. For me, people would say I probably set my standards kind of high when it comes to relationships. Because for me, if I get a romantic partner, I'm the type of person that if we're in a romantic relationship, I wouldn't necessarily be comfortable with my female partner having male friends. What I mean by that is, it's not that I don't trust her, it's that I don't trust the males. And not saying she can't talk to males or can't have any relationship with male people like associates or whatever, but as far as friendship goes, unless the guy is in a relationship, I wouldn't be comfortable with my girlfriend being with a single guy, let's say that. Mostly because me being a guy, and also me knowing that in friendships of the opposite sex, and it doesn't have to always be this way, but most of the time when you're friends with the opposite sex, one of you may catch feelings, and it could either end in heartbreak or it could actually blossom into something. Maybe you're both on the same page, but sometimes feelings are unreciprocated and stuff like that, and it can end in heartbreak, and they can become distant or they become cold. And some guys, they may say things indirectly to see if you feel the same way about them. Not all guys are direct with their feelings, so if you show that you don't feel that same way about them, then they could kind of become cold, distant, or start acting different. So that's not a bad thing, and it's not a perverse thing. I just feel like whenever a guy is close to a girl and they develop feelings, that's very natural. Guys were meant to be more than friends. When guys get close to other guys and when girls get close to other girls, they become like sisters and brothers. That's the closest they get, and they're both comfortable with that. They're both comfortable with non-romantic relationships. Of course, nowadays, it's different. That's one of my standards for if I ever was in a romantic relationship. I wouldn't want her to have any guy friends, and I naturally wouldn't have girlfriends. I wouldn't be friends with females, and I would do that out of respect for her, because when I look at my partner, it's not only going to be my partner but also my best friend, and those are right there in the relationship. So my partner is basically going to fill up all the slots. That's what makes a relationship special. And also no crushes in a relationship. I wouldn't be able to be in a relationship with somebody that has a crush on like a celebrity or anybody in that matter, you know, because I feel like that's kind of opening up that romantic side of their heart, which is supposed to be reserved for me. But even if they're admiring and crushing over somebody that they can obviously not have, it's still in a way kind of disrespectful emotionally. And some people would say that it's probably me being insecure, right? Because I would like a partner that doesn't lust after other guys or celebrities. But I feel like in today's society, having boundaries is known as insecurities. Just because you have boundaries, people say that's insecure nowadays, you know, because you want a secure, respectful relationship. They'll say you're insecure because you don't give me the freedom to admire other people in our relationship. Of course, everybody is beautiful. I'm not saying you can't compliment anybody, but leave it at that. Like, there is limits, you know? There's certain things I'm not gonna say if I'm in a relationship. Like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm not gonna go, that girl looks hot, or I have a crush on this celebrity because she's so cute. I'm not gonna do that because that'll be disrespecting my partner, because I'm giving that romantic attention to another person besides the person I'm with. And romantic attention for me is supposed to only strictly be with me and my partner. Nobody else gets that romantic side of me but my partner. You know, I also want a humble relationship. I wouldn't be one of those openly affectionate type couples that kind of make other people feel lonely, like cuddling around other people. That's definitely not my style. I'm a very private person, especially when it comes to relationship, and I definitely would like to respect the company that I have around me. I would like humility in a relationship. I wouldn't be very boastful about it or anything, or kind of rubbing your face type of deal. And I would also like a partner with modesty, because that matters to me too. That has nothing to do with insecurity. I'm not gonna say I don't have insecurities. Of course, everybody has insecurities. I have insecurities about my body and everything, but I don't project those insecurities. You know, I would dress respectfully, she would dress respectfully, and it's not about only respecting me, it's about us respecting ourselves, you know. And I would also like, of course, a believer, somebody that believes in God, somebody that pretty much is on the path of Christ, a relationship that brings us both closer to Christ, and a relationship that where we could teach each other about God, because I'm not a know-it-all when it comes to God, because I am still literally learning to this day about God and scriptures. I haven't memorized a lot of scriptures at all. The only thing I could think of off the top of my head is, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever shall believe in him shall have everlasting life. That's the only scripture I kind of remember. I don't even know if that was exactly word for word either, but that's the only scripture that I can remember, like off the top of my head. Of course, a lot of people would say that's the most important scripture, because we all have to remember Jesus' sacrifice for all of us. As far as a personal detail about myself, like some people said they like to save themselves for marriage. Me, I have not, because I did it one time. And that has been one of my biggest regrets of my life. If I could take it back, I would, because it hurts me. It literally does, because one thing I've always wanted to be, even though it was impossible, is pure. At the time, I didn't know much about being a Christian. My parents never taught me about saving myself for marriage. We were never really close like that. And no, I do not think about the person that I had done it with or anything like that. So, but I feel like, for me, it feels like a huge setback, because I would like a woman that I love. And at the time, of course, at that time, I would say the woman I was with I love, but no, I would like a woman that I truly, truly love. Nothing lust, nothing perverted, nothing anything else, but just strictly love. Every time I think about that, it hurts me, because it's like, imagine getting with somebody knowing that they couldn't be your first. And imagine if they were a great person too. Imagine how amazing that person is. And that if you could go back in time, you would make them your first. One thing you have to know about me is that everything I say and do has to have a meaning and a purpose behind it. I will never make a video where you cannot take something or learn something from it, because me doing that will feel like I'm wasting your time. It'll feel like I'm wasting my time, and I don't like to feel like that, you know. But I would say, when it comes to this society and this society's relationships, a lot of people don't care about friendships or relationships nowadays. Like, when people tell me you're a good friend, sometimes I don't feel anything, because it's like, okay, When I'm somebody's friend, they don't call me up. Like, if they text me asking me like, how was your day? Oh, your day was nice? Okay. I don't feel like the friendship carries any weight. Like, when I think of friendship, I think of somebody that will want to see me, somebody that wants to talk to me, somebody interested in me, somebody that wants to call me up, do different activities with me, whether that's play games, I don't know, if we was to live near each other, go to the movies, or if we were far from each other, like a long distance friendship, maybe like FaceTime, video call, and have a movie night that way. Like, get creative with it. They'll say, you're my friend, and all we ever do is text. Like, and about nothing. And when we are texting about problems, it's always like, the advice I get is like, cheer up, be positive, be more positive. Life isn't positive. I like to think realistically. There's more things to be upset about in this world than there is to be happy about. But one thing I am grateful for is my life. I've never had it in me to end my life. And I know how much I wanted to, but I've never had it in me to just ultimately do it. If I was to ever do it, it would have to be done on complete impulse, because as soon as I start thinking about all the people I'm leaving behind in this world and all the things I love and my purpose and everything else, it stops me from doing it, because everybody matters. There's people going through it worse that need somebody. Like, for me, chit chat isn't really important. I love meaning. That's what I crave, that's what I love, that's what I live for, is something meaningful. It's crazy in this lifetime how life changed, how they're pretty much weaponizing the word insecurity and using it against people who just have standards. I don't know where modesty went, but in the gyms, the way people act nowadays, whether they're just shirtless and showing off and stuff, whether women are in like skin tight clothes and bras, every time I see any kind of gym video or any type of muscle video of women showing off their, you know, glutes and everything like that, I feel like they're seeking attention. I know they'll probably say, I'm just showing off like my progress. Is there a more respectable way you can do that? If you really think about it, who are these people really working out for? Like, if you were working out your whole body and your abs, do men need to wear thongs to show off all their muscle progress like these bodybuilders wear? I'm just thinking, why does everybody need to know how built you are? If you're working out for you, cool. But why do you need to show the whole world everything about you? And it's really not everything about you, but people make it everything about you. While I'm away from people, I'm starting to feel a little more calm about my body now. But when I was around people, they make your body like it's you. Like, they treat that like that is the main thing that is glorious about you, is that you have a fit body. The things people do to be admired. And I used to be down that same path. The things I would do just to get a compliment on my body because it reassures me that I'm worth something. The reason these people have to show so much on the outside is because they're suffering on the inside. They're not happy with themselves. They need your validation to be happy. And I don't have too much of a problem with a little reassurance, no. But the reassurance of the public doesn't mean anything, because that reassurance could go away with one hate comment. Everybody could say, you're good looking. And that one person that say you're ugly, or you have a big nose, or you have this and that, could take all of that away. Then you think everybody's lying. Like, the internet can literally turn you delusional. In the mirror, you see nothing more than a distorted image of yourself. Then you can't be happy about anything. Then you think you can't please anybody. It's like the internet is a sick place. And the societal stereotypes also destroy us, you know? What private parts has to be a certain size to please people, and that could be the chest or it could be other parts. But the proportions of your body and everything else, all of that shouldn't even be taken account when it comes to pleasing somebody. You should receive romantic pleasure from just being with that person you love, not from just their body. I feel like this society is solely based on pleasure nowadays. Regardless of who it's from, they're really just based on feeling good. But the thing is, they're never satisfied. This is why a lot of men and women sleep with a lot of people sometimes. Like, men sleep around, women sleep around, and they're never satisfied when they could go from the next person to the next person to the next person and never feel satisfied, because there's always something missing. The one thing that's missing is something within themselves. Their sense of fulfillment, their sense of purpose. They're constantly chasing something that is not something to chase, because it's something that you need to accept about yourself. yourself is something that you need to cope within yourself. There's nothing to chase. I pretty much just wanted to make this video and open up a bit and become more transparent with you guys, revealing new things about myself. I hope you all are having an awesome day. I love you all. God bless you all. Bye.